So I'm GW Harrison. I'm originally from Kent, currently living in London, England. How did I get into electronic music? It's a long story, good story though. It's my old man's heavily into the rave scene, loves house music, you know, playing at the Christmas dinner table, which is fun. So yeah, my dad would put on raves and stuff, and there'd be after parties at my house. There's always decks about, so yeah, I would jump on the decks, learn, and yeah, I'd get people give me vinyl and stuff, and yeah, it just sort of went from there. I was about 12, 13 when I got my first gig. So yeah, my first gig, I was 13 years old. I think it was one of my dad's friends was running this sort of illegal, semi-illegal raving club. It's called Club Life in Lyd. It's called Monkey Business, and yeah, they booked me. I was called Little G at the time. I remember turning up, could barely carry the record box. Dad sort of walked me in, got to the door, and they was like, no, not coming in. Like, what's this? And he's like, no, my son's playing. So I had to get the flyer out. There's my name on it. It said Little G, and underneath in brackets said 13 years old and already a rocker. So yeah, got in, had to stand on the drinks crate, played, and that was it. Once I finished playing, I had to go and wait in the car for my dad to finish dancing or raving, and then we'd go home when the sun come up. So yeah, I was having a great time. I was just sitting there with my glow stick and a bottle of Coke. So my heroes growing up, DJ wise, it's a hard one to pinpoint. I was heavily into hard house at the time. You know, I like Fergie, Tidy Boys, people like that. That was a real hard house kind of thing. But as my sound developed, you know, I love people like Faithless, and I mean, Mark Knight was one for me, because when I started to DJ, my DJ was to make people dance. And I remember seeing Mark Knight at Sauce Bar. He was actually playing in the courtyard. I think someone dropped out and he come down and he was playing for his mates. And his energy and just having fun, there was no arrogance to it. I see a lot of DJs when I was younger who, you know, wouldn't make eye contact, and it sort of put me off a bit. But then seeing Mark, and then, you know, because he's from the same town, and you know, I'd see him shopping and things, and like, oh my God, there's Mark Knight. He just proved to me that it was achievable. You know, it wasn't just a fairy tale. Like, he's here, he's living in the same town, and he's doing it, touring the world. So yeah, I mean, Mark, I mean, it's Toolroom, but Mark Knight was a big inspiration for me. So, best gig I've ever played. I mean, this is tough. I've been really blessed and really lucky to play all over the place. But one that, you know, must stick out for me, and I think people that follow me, it's actually first time I played with our festival. I wasn't even meant to play. I was backstage. The booker, directors, guys, they was all backstage, and Heidi was meant to play on main stage. Anyway, she's hurt her ankle, so she can't play. So they've come up to me and said, hey George, you've got music, we're going to need you to cover. And I honestly thought they was winding me up, because this is main stage, you know, there's like 30,000 people there. And before I even had a chance, like, what, you joking? They'd gone. So I'm standing there thinking, is this real? Stage manager comes down and he says, look George, you ready? You got to go on in 5. How do you spell your name for the screens? I was like, this is happening. And not only did I just go on the decks, they wheeled me on another set of decks in front of the act. I think it was Examine Engine Dance at the time. Anyway, I played 2 hours. I come off. It was Ramo. I mean, it was capacity. I come off. I remember MK, Seth Troxer at the bottom of the stairs, and he's like, "Hey man, how'd it go?" And I was like, and I just cried. Like, I was like so overwhelmed. It just flooded out. It's quite a embarrassing story, but that's how much it meant to me. I mean, it still does. So yeah, that's got to be a highlight, definitely. So the first time I thought things were actually kicking off and start coming into sort of the limelight, it's hard to pinpoint really. I think it was when I started getting people coming up to me and, you know, wanting photos and stuff. But it was like when I'd reply back to people on Instagram and stuff, they'd ask me what tracks were or where I was playing, and they were like, oh my God, I can't believe you've replied, like, thank you so much. And to me, that because I know how I feel, you know, when I speak to bigger guys, and, you know, I still get starstruck, and I thought that they sort of put me in that category, and that's when I thought, you know what, this might be happening. So yeah, I mean, it sort of naturally happened, but I guess it's the kind of then. So my number one piece of advice would be stay true to yourself, and, you know, set goals. Don't sit and wait for it to happen, because honestly, a lot of people around me have done that. Expect it to come to them, and it doesn't. I really grafted. I mean, I was at every party I wanted to play at. I was talking to every promoter on the phone to record labels. I was constantly going for it. So set yourself a goal. If there's a party you want to play, go to that party, buy a ticket, network, see people, show support. It goes so far. It's just about being a nice person, true to yourself, but don't expect to have an overnight. Work for it, really work for it. Network. Set yourself goals and start ticking them off. No, surreal. Do you know what? It probably was a time I did a mixed mag stream, and it was Fatboy Slim. I think I was going on after him, and this was a live stream in someone's front room in Brighton. I mean, it was packed. The floor was bowing. I mean, they had snacks and everything. So yeah, going DJing Fatboy Slim on a live stream in someone's front room was very surreal, and I was very starstruck. He was standing there DJing with no shoes and socks on, and I was a bit like, oh my god. So yeah, very nervous, but yeah, pretty surreal that. So my brand new record on Toolroom, it's my first solo EP on Toolroom Records, which is a big deal for me. It's something I've always worked towards. It's called Hear My Soul. It's how I describe it. I'll describe it as a feel-good, uplifting house music track. It's inspired by like South American things. I was talking to my agent. We're looking to do a little tour that way, and it just sort of clicked from that. I sat down with Mark on it, and I laid some vocals down and stuff. We got a singer in, and yeah, it just all come together. So it's a track I'm really proud of, and I hope everyone else enjoys it. Yeah, it's pretty amazing actually. You know, this quick story. So I was playing Toolroom in Amsterdam. I think it was one of my first Toolroom shows, and we went for the artist meal, and Mark Knight's there, his brother, and everyone's there, and I was actually quite starstruck. I was actually really nervous, and I played, and Mark come up to me and he's like, "Look, George, let's have a meeting. I want you to come in the office next week." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Oh, don't worry, we'll sit down next week." And I really didn't know what he was saying. Like, I was like, "What?" I honestly didn't know what he wanted, and I was quite surprised by it. And he actually rang me up and said, "Look, you coming Wednesday?" Again, I was like, "Whoa, Mark Knight's ringing me." Anyway, so I come in and I sit down, and Mark's like, "Look, George, we've been following you for ages, you know, local boy, and you love what you're doing. We played together a lot." He's like, "I really want to be part of Toolroom, be part of the family, you know, tour and stuff." And I was just like, wow, this is amazing, because it's, you know, it's a proper goal for me. So yeah, and since we've had that meeting, we spoke a lot on the phone, or been in the studio, and it's been amazing. Everyone's amazing. It's yeah, I feel really welcome. So yeah, it's a big deal for me. So yeah, thank you for having me and inviting me to be part of this amazing thing.